Okay, let's talk about something real quick. Um, Basically, there's a bill in the Senate. It's S.2205, the Second Amendment Sovereignty Act of 2012. Um, I'll put a link down there to where you can read the bill itself. Um, Basically, what it's going to do is it's going to prohibit funding to negotiate a United Nations arms trade treaty. Basically, what the treaty was going to say, it says it regulates the domestic manufacture, possession, and purchase of civilian firearms. Okay, and basically, the UN would be able to say what guns and what ammunition a civilian can own in the United States, which directly contradicts the Second Amendment. Okay, basically, the whole shall not be infringed part. Um, the gun owner or the civilian populace of the United States, the citizens of the United States, have accepted certain infringements on the Second Amendment, rightfully. I believe some gun laws are perfectly acceptable, not having felons have guns and things like this. But there is the big problem that I have allowing the United Nations to control the laws within the United States. I have no problem with United Nations resolutions regarding what weapons we can and cannot export to other countries. Okay, in a way, um, but I don't feel that the United Nations should have any jurisdiction over what firearms can be sold in the United States. I believe the United States should be the sole regulatory power on that matter. Um, One of the scary things about this to me is if the UN gets their way, and the UN says no American citizen has the right to own firearms in the United States, well, then two things are going to happen. One, we're going to be defenseless against tyranny from our own government and the UN. Um, and that is un American. I haven't got them framed yet, but I've got. This is how, I mean, seriously, this is how much I believe in this stuff. That I actually have a copy of the Declaration of Independence, or the Constitution of the United States, and the Declaration of Independence. And I want to get these framed to hang on my wall. Okay? So that I can look at them every single day. Okay? I believe that to allow a foreign entity to dictate any part of our law is in direct violation of the Constitution of the United States. We did not elect the Secretary General of the United Nations. In fact, we didn't really elect our ambassador to the United Nations, or whatever that person's title is. Um, so why do they have any say over our laws? I don't understand why that's even a question. We are a sovereign nation. We should be treated as such. In fact, the last time I looked, and this has been 2 or 3 years ago, the vast majority of equipment, weapons, and personnel in the United Nations peacekeeping forces are American. That I believe in itself is wrong. Okay, I believe every nation should be equal. Um, then it's See, to me, it's not really United Nations if we have the majority of risk involved. We have the United Nations building where they do all of this is on American soil. We allowed that. I believe that is, and I believe rightfully so, that was done in a good faith kind of thing. You know, I'm not 100% sure, but I get the feeling that the United States has more foreign citizens under diplomatic immunity on diplomatic missions than almost any other country. We allow this to happen because we are that type of nation. You know, we allow things like this to go on because of our freedoms. Because while you're here in the United States, we will protect you. You will live under our freedoms. Um, when I was overseas, um, I was in Saudi Arabia, and a lot of Saudi military personnel would go to the United States for training and stuff. We sell a lot of equipment to them, and one of the guys I talked to said he loves it. He loves it when he's got came to the United States for that very reason twice. He said he loves it. He said he loves to come to the United States and he can have freedoms. I mean, 90% of the freedoms that we have. Um, he's amazed by that. You know, and I believe that if we allow this, we're giving up some of those freedoms that other people don't have in this world, and we're going to give them up. Men and women have died to give us these freedoms, and we're going to give them away. That's that's un-American, in my opinion. It's disgraceful to their memory. It's wrong. I mean, it's wrong. You know, one of the beauties of this country and our freedoms is that the government cannot force you to use them. And we're going to give them away. That's one of the things that I talk about when I talk about, like the Second Amendment. I'm not trying to force you to own guns. I'm trying to say you have the choice to either buy a gun or not. And they're trying to tell me I can't. And again, it boils down to any argument. There's always the side that wants you to have the freedom to do it or not, and the side that does not want you to have that freedom. And I'm a firm believer that if you don't believe in freedom, then you shouldn't be in this country. You should not be in a free country if you do not believe in freedom and want freedom for everybody. You don't have to use it. Okay? I don't mind. I could care less whether you exercise your freedoms or not. Just don't turn away. So write yours and tell the music for